Hey, good morning. Have you ever had a medical procedure that left you thinking, my gosh, was that necessary? Now, I'm talking about the kind where, and you'll understand what I'm talking about here in a few minutes, where they inflate your gut like a bicycle tire. They put in a camera in places where cameras weren't meant to be put. Um, and you walk away thinking, okay, what good's going to come from this? Now, we worked with a contractor that would help us with some of our applications, and he was an expat. He lived out of country, but through Zoom and through uh, phone calls, we were able to work. Well, there came a time when I called him for help and he didn't answer his phone. And and of course I was kind of frustrated. It's like, you're supposed to be available to help us. Well, I kept calling him and he wasn't answering his phone, and I was getting more angrier um, as I tried to call him. Well, I finally reached out to some of his colleagues and found out that he had passed away. Now, what happened was uh, he was in this foreign country, got into a very bad car accident, and they found in the process of trying to fix his injuries that he had stage four esophageal cancer. Preventable had he had one of these, what I thought was really unnecessary medical procedure. Well, I had been going through these every 5 years just to check. And shortly after I found out that this man had passed away, I got one for the esophagus, and they said, we want you to come back in a year. Found out that I had developed something called Barrett's esophagus, which is caused mainly by um, acid reflux that is like constant. And I had that. I knew I had that. And I was trying to self medicate, but apparently that wasn't enough. So I developed this condition, and they said, come back in a year. So I came back in a year, and they said, okay, it's still there. Come back in 6 months. So I came back in 6 months and they said, okay, it's there still, but it's turned into what they call low grade dysplasia, which means that the cellular structure of that area of the esophagus is beginning to change a little bit. Uh, they said, come back in 6 months. And I came back in 6 months and they said, well, it's become high grade, which is one step under cancer. So, fortunately, I found out that this really was necessary because had I not gone in and had ignored it, eventually this would become cancer, and I would be like uh, like our contractor friend. Um, so so I asked him, okay, what do we do now? It's one step under cancer. What do we do? And he said, well, there's a procedure called radio frequency ablation, which is where they stick that same tube into your stomach, inflate it, but it has, um, I don't know, a heating element that will burn that area. Now, because it's not cancer yet, they're able to do that to stop it. Now, they say sometimes it takes up to um, four treatments to eradicate that. So tomorrow I go in for uh, my first ablation. So I was kind of hinging on the fact that no one in my family has ever had cancer. I have the DNA structure, I guess, where that isn't a thing. And I was holding on to that. As it turns out, that's not 100%. So, my recommendation, especially for those of us of a certain age, if you've not had that procedure done, I recommend you get it at least once because that could become a very salient moment where that could save your life. Thank you.